The Overwatch 2 rank system is one of the worst rank systems that we have ever seen. Players are really frustrated with the ranked experience, and they're having a terrible time regardless of the rank you're at, regardless of the skill level. Players are not enjoying Overwatch ranked. And there's a ton of problems that we have to talk about, and there's also easy solutions that we can integrate to fix the ranked system. So how do we fix it? What do we do? Where does Blizzard go from here? Press that subscribe for 3 free wins on the house, and let's get into it. Now, there was an interesting decision that was made by Blizzard going into Overwatch 2 about the rank system. They said, hey, we do not want players to be super competitively anxious, because competitive anxiety is a thing. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a very big thing when you're trying to grind the rank. You look at your rank and you really get kind of nervous about it. You get really disappointed when the rank goes down. And I personally think that this is just part of a competitive game experience, but they wanted to solve this by, first off, hiding your rank so you get into a lobby and it doesn't show any enemies what your rank is. And 2, when you play a game, you need to lose 20 times or win 7 in order to get a rank update. Now, specifically, the ranked update system is something that, to me, doesn't make that much sense on paper. The idea here is that players can't take it when their rank goes up and down, and it causes, happy moments and, really sad moments, so you don't want to show people that, and instead, you want to just put it behind a system that updates after that amount of games. But there's a ton of problems with this. First off, while you might reduce that anxiety in the moment from game to game, you increase the anxiety of the entire player base when they have no idea what their rank is at any given time, and it can be incredibly frustrating when you pair it with the MMR system that is apparent at low rank. So for those of you who don't know, if you're underneath the diamond rank, there is a hidden MMR performance-based system, and think of MMR like the worst player in the world, or the lowest ranked would be 0, and then the highest ranked would be like some really high number, and you're somewhere along that axis, and there are certain benchmarks that put you into certain ranks, right? Like, imagine if after 1,000 MMR you're in this rank, and after 2,000 MMR you're in this rank. That's what an MMR system would do, but they hide that. They don't show us what your MMR is, but when you actually fit the MMR of a new rank, you are placed in that rank. Or if you fall to a lower rank MMR, you are placed in that rank past a certain threshold. Now, going back to that performance-based system, the problem with hiding this information is that players are actually winning like about even games, right? They'll win 7 and they'll lose 7 games. But because of the performance-based system, they are actually not increasing in rank because they're going up against someone. Maybe the someone is worse than them on paper, and then they lose, so they're losing more rank or more MMR behind the scenes. They don't see that, or they're put into a lobby where they perform very poorly, and so the system's like, yeah, this player, based on people around his rank, is not doing very well stats-wise, so they actually take away some amount of MMR you get for the win. Or maybe you have someone on your team that super overperformed and they did a bulk of the heavy lifting, so your MMR doesn't increase as much. There's a ton of factors that could go into this, and of course, Blizzard being Blizzard, we don't have any transparency about how this works, which I don't think that we should have full transparency because people could actually abuse the system, but it would be nice to know more information about how performance can affect your low rank gains and rank increase, because when you hide all this information and players are maybe performing bad, maybe not performing the best, or sometimes they're performing really good in one game or really bad in another, and maybe instead of getting like a flat 25 and minus 25 MMR, they're gaining plus 30, minus 10, minus 20, plus 10. It could be all over the place depending on their performance. You combine the systems together and it creates a very not fun competitive experience that increases competitive anxiety. It increases all the things that they're trying to actually get rid of, because players are very frustrated with not being able to know how their rank is moving. And there's a lot of easy ways to deal with this. The first thing that you should do is just get rid of this entire system and go back to a number system. Now, this is pretty much par for the course for any ranked mode. You see a number, you see it working up, and you work towards your rank. You can still have a performance-based increase in your system, but that needs to be transparent. Like, it needs to be transparent when you're getting extra rank, and in my opinion, you should never get less rank if you get a dub. You should only ever get like a base amount of MMR or a slightly above base MMR, depending on how well you perform, as just a way to push out smurfs, not to try to find someone's rank better down lower. It's more just a system to get smurfs out of there. In my opinion, that's the only real use for a actual performance-based system. Now, I know what you're saying. All these problems, when things are tuned behind the scenes, everything will be fine and it will be worth it because the 7-game system is just better for competitive, makes people less anxious and less susceptible to mood swings when they get wins and losses and things like that. Here's what I will argue. This is a competitive game mode. It's a competitive game mode, okay? You are trying to win. You're trying to beat other people. Losing isn't fun when you're trying to win. That's how it is in every competition that exists, and ranked competitive should be no different in my personal opinion. If you are queuing up for ranked, you have to buy into the idea that it's gonna suck when you lose and you're gonna be high on the world when you win. And that's something that is just like true for ranked anything. If ranked competitive games, real world sports, whatever the case may be, that's just how it is when you're in a competition, because not everyone can be winners all the time. And if you don't like that thing, you don't have to buy into it. You don't have to play ranked. There's tons of other options for you. Overwatch has a huge amount of content outside of the ranked experience. So it just seems very, very silly to me to try and make ranked something that is just friendly for everybody, when I don't think that ranked ever should be friendly for everybody. In fact, there's a lot of problems that come with Overwatch where a lot of arguments have been made that ranked should be a place where only people that really want to grind the game, play proper, and improve, work together should play. So there shouldn't be any actual rewards for playing. This was a big controversy back in the day with the Golden Guns, where it encouraged people that wouldn't normally want to play ranked to play ranked. And those people often wouldn't play like properly. They wouldn't care, or they would do very weird things. And that is kind of leading people in the wrong direction. I understand benefits and rewards to get people to try ranked and maybe they like it, but you shouldn't be trying to tailor ranked towards a casual audience, because that's not what ranked should be. Ranked should be for people that want to take the game seriously, take the game to the next level. And I think that it almost feels a little insulting when they say, hey, we don't think that you can handle the losses of like a ranked system, so we're gonna do something to make you feel better about it. I just think that is completely unnecessary. And then we lead to the next problem with the playing 7 or lose 20 is oftentimes players don't feel like they're progressing to anything, because unless you're sitting in a session that is long enough for you to get those 7 wins, hopefully not those 20 losses, then you feel like you haven't done anything. You're just playing and playing and playing. There's no level rank up. There's no end game title screen. It just feels like you're just constantly grinding at a system that doesn't actually feel any different than grinding like a quick play mode, because there's nothing that is updating you. And on top of this, you almost feel obligated to play like these really long play sessions where you play a bunch of games just because you want your next rank reset. And then after you know, maybe you have like 5 wins or 6 wins and you're tired, you're ready to call it quits, but you want that update. So you grind through, and you keep getting losses. You can't quite get those 7 wins. It's frustrating. You finally break through those 7 wins after grinding way longer than you intended through a lot of frustration. And then you derank. Tell me what hurts more, just getting updates on your rank and calling it good when you're up and taking a break when you're down, or this system. You tell me. You really. And it really doesn't seem like anyone likes the system. Whether they're in high rank or low rank, no one is having a great time, whether it's with the 7 win and 20 loss system itself, or a lot of the behind the scene problems with MMR and ranking up. Everyone is frustrated in one way, but the most dangerous set of frustration that is really growing in the community is that broken mentality that is increasing. Players have zero faith in the rank system. No one even cares about improvement. No one even cares about getting better. Players will not take any personal responsibility for their wins and losses. And you know what? I can't blame people when we have a rank system like this that promotes that type of mentality. Give us a rank system that shows us the number, is transparent, gives us actual reasoning for getting more MMR if you're in the low rank. Give us flat increases after a certain rank. If we keep up with this system, players are just going to get more and more frustrated and less interested in improving, because why try to improve in a system that doesn't feel fair? Even if, yes, if you get better, even if, yes, you improve, you can climb 100%. I promise you can. I made an entire separate video on it. It doesn't matter if any of those things are true if the ranked experience is so frustrating that people don't even want to grind and get better in the first place, and they don't even feel like if they do get better, it actually matters. This is not a system that needs to stay in place. This is a very dangerous system, and yeah, get rid of it. Come on, Blizzard. Come on.